Good evening, Simon here, Explosive Action, back for another DVD and Blu-ray collection update. Got a bit of a pile here, so let's get into it. Oh yeah. Oh hi! We're here to do an update, aren't we? I'll just put down my delicious coffee. And we're going to crack into it. We've got some DVDs, got 3 there. We've got some Blu-rays, got some fancy Blu-rays, a couple of box sets, and a hell of a lot of Sci-Fi channel. You've been following me for a while, you know the last few months, where my head's been, it's not gone away. But I do feel that I'm reaching the tip of that iceberg of where I want to be. Should that actually be the bottom of the iceberg, if I use that phrase incorrectly? Whatever, I think I've nearly filled in the majority of what I want, which is, as I said last time, that sort of 2000 to sort of 2012 kind of period. I'm only missing a couple that I'm aware of from that time zone. There's a few 90s ones I'd like to get. They're a lot more challenging to find actual releases of, but there's some in this update. Anyway, let's get into it with not a Sci-Fi channel film, but it's definitely adjacent, and you can go and check out Mr. Extro the Mutilator's review of this one in one of his previous collection update videos as well. I'm talking about Planet June. That's right. It's an Asylum mockbuster, of course. Great cover. This was dirt cheap. With shipping from the UK, it was like $9. Just ridiculous. We didn't get a local release. Now, this is a thing that seems to be happening a bit lately. We were getting Asylum releases out through a company called Vendetta for like 95% of the releases. And we were getting them through a few other smaller kind of companies as well, but I haven't seen any in a while. We never got things like, what was their Tomb Invader, the Tomb Raider ripoff. Like, the last one we got was their Top Gun ripoff, Top Gunner. I think that was kind of out the last thing we got. But anyway, Planet June, haven't checked it out yet, but from what Extra was saying, and the general vibe I've been noticing for about the last 2 years is the production quality of Asylum films is improving. Go check out the trailer for the new Ape vs. Mecha Ape, I think. Like, they've done their own sub-franchise. You know, they've done the Godzilla versus King Kong thing, and they made one called Ape. Right? There's a sequel to that out now called Ape vs. Mecha Ape, I think. Check the trailer on that. Their CG is actually pretty decent now, right? And even the acting seems better, so I'm actually looking forward to that one. Oh god. But here we are. Planet June. I digress no longer. A pure slice of action, says Girls with Guns. What a great website that would be. I'll need to go check it out. A crew on a mission to rescue a marooned base on a desert planet turns deadly when the crew finds themselves hunted and attacked by the planet's apex predators, giant sandworms. So look, it just cuts to the meat of the June books, the June movies. Obviously, this is timed with the recent June movies, which is a whole bunch of political and fuck it, just get to the sandworms. That's clearly what they're aiming for here. So yeah, I hope this is a good one. I know Extro gave it a cautious thumbs up. Like, he said it was pretty good. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, Planet June. The next one. This one I'm looking forward to. I was actually hoping to watch it in the last week, but things didn't work out the way I intended. Lots of work-related things. But I am going to get to this one pretty quickly, and I just wanted to make sure I let people know that this was out, and I'm unsure of what other releases worldwide exist at this point. We're talking about Dead Zone with Michael J. White, and I always like watching a Michael J. White film. I do feel he's not been getting the... Like, there was a while there, go back 10 years, there was a while there where he was on par with Scott Adkins, right? They've gone different routes. Scott's just done John Wick 4. Jay White, Dead Zone. It's I don't know. It's a shame, but I do like his stuff. And look, it's Michael J. White and zombies. We've got Chad Michael Collins and good old Jeff Fay, who may as well be an Asylum film, but it's not. Reading from the back here, to stop the collapse of humanity, an elite team of soldiers using high-tech armor and weapons must descend on a radiation-poisoned town, perform the ultimate stealth mission, but they still need to be careful. With hell on earth, they may just meet the devil. That's a terrible line. It says, I love Dead Zone, a quote from bands about movies. Bands about movies? Okay. So yeah, I am really actually looking forward to this one. It looks like it should be a bit of express zombie action fun. I am hopeful. I mean, look, if you look at the photo here, you've got Chad Michael Collins, you've got a very beardy and ungroomed, unkept Jeff Fay, and we do see Michael J. White in the same soldier uniform, so look, hopefully they're all on a bit of a par, and it's not like 5 minutes of J. White. I don't think we're at that point with J. White, so I do expect him to be the lead or co-lead, and I do hope that he will be fighting to survive in Dead Zone. If you've seen this one, do chime in below. I'm very curious. Going back in time, well, going back a good, probably nearly 20 years, I think this DVD came out, and I got it new and sealed. And this is another one. I have to thank Mr. Extro for just reminding me the film existed. I had this on tape, and I think the tape died, or I traded it off or something. And I knew there were DVDs, but I just never got onto them. And then, passage of time, DVD is quite expensive. But I found one seller, and that seller still might have copies, who had it like 5 or 6 brand new and sealed copies of Hardcase and Fist, the Image DVD on an old snapper case. It arrived to me shrink wrapped, and the price was very, very reasonable. Not at all extortionate. I'm stoked to get this one. This is a good bit of fun. 1989, I think. Cheapo action film. Look at that. Love the old snapper case, particularly when they're still mint. As I said, I cracked the seal on this thing. Beautiful. Old Image DVD. This is like a lot of the old Image DVDs are very similar to their Laserdiscs, because Image were doing Laserdiscs right through the 90s and in the 80s, but a lot of their cheapo kind of action films, they smashed out heaps of them, were on Laserdisc, and then their DVD ports were essentially the same thing. This I don't think is, because this is presented in 185 to 1 theatrical aspect ratio, so it's widescreen. Not sure if it's 16:9, it does not say so, I haven't checked it out yet, but man, it's in widescreen, that's good. I think the UK DVD is not, so brilliant. Happy to have this one. It's got a bit of Ted Pryor, that's why we're here, Ted Pryor. So it's not a David Pryor directed film, it's directed by Tony Zarindast. But it's got Ted Pryor, Carter Wong, Maureen Levette, Christine Lunde, and a bunch of other people. And Tony Zarindast himself is playing Tony Marino. Tony for Tony. Bud McCall is a dedicated, honest cop framed on a drug charge after the FBI orders him to testify against the former partner turned ruthless crime lord. Imprisoned and targeted to be killed, McCall must find a way to prove his innocence and stay alive. I remember it being a good fun one, and I'm happy to have this edition. Do go check eBay. I don't remember the seller, but they did have a number of copies, and I'm pretty sure I didn't sell them out when I got this about a month ago, when I ordered it about a month ago. So yeah, Hardcase and Fist Image DVD. There's sirens in the background. Coffee. We've got some Blu-rays now. This first one kind of annoyed me, actually. I was chasing on my watch list for a long time a film on DVD, an out-of-print DVD. Sat on my watch list for quite some time, and then a copy came up for sale probably about 3 months, maybe 2.5 months ago now. It came up for sale, and it was a good price, and I bought it, and it was new, and it arrived. And I pushed the boat out a little bit, but it was still a good price. As it was in transit, Shout Factory announced the Blu-ray. I'm talking about Dance with Death. I even showed it in either my last update or the one before, the DVD edition of that. I haven't even got to watch the thing yet. And now I've already upgraded it on Blu, and it comes also with Dance of the Damned, which I'm not familiar with. This is one of those Shout Factory exclusives, which are a pain for non-Americans to get. Because you can't buy directly from Shout, you've got to go through a reshipping service or know somebody that's in the state. It's just an absolute pain. But anyway, Dance with Death and Dance of the Damned double feature Blu-ray, only available directly from their shop. I believe there's still copies. Read the 2 synopses quick. Dance with Death. In order to investigate a serial killer stalking the dancers at a strip club, a society reporter must go to the darkest places her journalistic career has ever taken her. Barbara Allen Woods from One Tree Hill, whatever the hell that is. Maxwell Caulfield from Grease 2. not a credit I'd put on there. And Martin Mull, great surname, from Clue, star in Dance with Death. Anyway, yeah, Blu-ray. We actually have this in HD now, and it's in 185 to 1 widescreen, so significant upgrade over the DVD, and yeah, I'm just somewhat annoyed, but I've already passed that DVD on. It has moved on, and I now have the Blu-ray. So whatever, it all works out in the end. Dance of the Damned, director and screenwriter Kat Shee from Poison Ivy, I haven't seen that in years, keeps the beat going with Dance of the Damned, a sensual and supernatural tale of a vampire drawn to Jodie, a suicidal dancer? Oh Christ. Together they cross the unspeakable boundaries that separate the living and the undead. That sounds really cheesy. Only 82 minutes too. So yeah, good double feature. I am definitely keen to check out Dance with Death again, properly. As I said, I didn't even get to the DVD. I just know it wasn't... it was an older DVD. It might have even been an Image DVD. I can't remember. Or was it a New Concord? Actually, it was a New Concord DVD. And that's what's made me stop, pause, and think. Because Shout keep doing this. There's like they've opened the New Concord library. Go and look at their recent stuff. It's just a bunch of Sirio Santiago, Roger Corman films. And I'm going to be ordering them and as soon as I can. And they're all New Concord. So... yeah, if you're looking for old New Concord DVDs from Roger Corman, maybe hold off if you're keen on Blu-rays, because Shout's just going to get to it eventually. Very nice. Also from Shout, this one's a bit older, but we wanted to... when I do purchase from the Shout factory store directly, it's a group buy with a couple of people. We've got to make it worthwhile, basically. So this one is from, I think maybe the end of last year, or maybe January. The Evil That Men Do. Bit of Charles Bronson, and yeah, happy to get this one. I was very close to getting the German Blue, very, very, very close, but then they announced this, so I figured why not. They're probably pretty much the same, but anyway, yeah, this one was good. I enjoyed this. I actually put this on pretty soon after I got it. Might have even been the next day. I'll read from the back. Charles Bronson is back in this tough-as-nail, hard-hitting action drama. Professional killer Holland, that's Bronson, is forced out of retirement to break a Central American government's political torture ring. God damn, and it opens with all this torture footage, like this crazed doctor, Dr. Maloch, played by Joseph Maher. He's going to town on these prisoners in front of an audience of soldiers who are like, studying the techniques and that kind of thing. So it's pretty grisly. So don't expect a light-hearted action film. It's pretty grisly. Yeah, I really dug this one. Yeah, posing as a journalist, Holland must stop Dr. Moloch, the mastermind behind the political killings, end his reign of terror once and for all. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Really good. Nice disc as well. Looks really good. Has theatrical cut, unrated cut, and television cut with extended footage. I believe I watched the unrated cut and theatrical trailer. So yeah, nice little package there of Evil That Men Do. So yeah, definitely pick that one up if you're a bit of a Charles Bronson fan, which I'm assuming you are. You're watching a channel called Explosive Action. And very happy to report on this one, because there was a bit of, is this going to be cut? Is it not? Black Belt. So Black Belt's one of those DVDs, the original American New Concord DVD, cut to smithereens, absolutely smashed. Whole scenes have been like trimmed down. The original UK VHS is even worse. Anything with nunchucks is cut out because that's the problem they were having. They didn't like nunchucks. But there was a UK DVD released about 10 years ago with a horrendous green cover that was fully uncut. And that was sort of the benchmark of what we could get. Pretty damn confident after watching this, passing it by a few people that have the Australian VHS, who have done sort of comparisons, passing it by your buddy of mine, X-Ray the Mutilator, who confirmed that some scenes I was sending him photos of were from the uncut edition. Black Belt, it is uncut as far as I can tell, as far as everyone else can tell, it's uncut. All the good stuff's here, and the stuff that we're talking about is essentially with what's his name, Matthias Hughes. This is got to be one of his best roles. He is off the chain, like he's deranged in a Buffalo Bill kind of way. He's a sort of serial killer / hitman, and he's killing these women kind of randomly, and he's sort of projecting his mother or his wife or whatever on them. Like, it's that kind of thing. He's amazing in this. He's really, really good. And yes, all his scenes do appear to be uncut, which were brutal. The way he's, not just the way he's offering these women, but anyone that gets in his way, and he just beats them up, and there's blood coming out, and just broken necks and things. Amazing. Rock star Shana, Deirdre Immershine, needs protection from ruthless pathological killer John Sweet. Great name. Matthias Hughes. Who suffers from a mother fixation, it's his mother, yeah, along with a penchant for brutal violence. God damn, he does. In pursuit of Shana is her corrupt business manager who has his own interests at heart. Reluctantly, she hires ex-cop martial arts coach Jack Dillon, Don the Dragon Wilson, as her bodyguard. And he'll have his work cut out for him as Deirdre's enemies close in on her with increasingly desperate determination. Yeah, really, really good. It looks good, it sounds good, and as far as anyone can tell, it's uncut. I don't think there's anything left on the cutting room floor. If there is, it's minute. So yeah, definitely recommend. Black Belt Blu-ray, good stuff. Yep, recommend that one. And of course, I'm kind of still hoping that they do a box set, because there's a lot of these that they could release. But I'm happy to get the first one of Blood Fist, more Don the Dragon Wilson. There are 8 Blood Fist films with Don in them, and then a 9th one. That's a Sirio Santiago post-apocalyptic film. Which is unrelated, it's just called Blood Fist 2050. But Blood Fist 1 through 8, the first 2 are connected, and then 3 through 8 all have Don in them playing different roles, and they're all basically rip-offs of different things. You've got, like, one of them is like a Die Hard clone, one of them is a bit like Under Siege, and you know, that's what Roger Corman was putting together with these things. But they're all good fun, pretty much all good fun. So a couple of them are a little bit less good fun, but anyway, Blood Fist, the first one. Quality stuff. To avenge the brutal murder of his brother Jake Ray, Don Dragon Wilson journeys to the Philippines, where his search for the truth finds him battling both in and out of the ring. The weapons are always the same, bare fist, bare feet, and the rules never change. The last man standing wins. Also featuring karate legend Billy Blanks, awesome, and a host of martial arts champions. Blood Fist is knockout action from the producer Roger Corman. Yeah, I haven't checked out this disc, but look, anything is up from what we had. The DVDs were all pretty average. The local Australian DVD is like passable, but the video was really soft and the colours kind of blown out and not particularly great. I'm imagining this looks excellent. And it's in widescreen, so that's already a win for me. And I don't believe there's been any issues with cuts that I would expect. So there you go. Blood Fist on Blu-ray. Please release the rest, Shout Factory, in a nice box set. Alright, the next 2, oh dear. I'm still getting all the Bruce Willis films. Obviously the news, every time that I show one of these things, there's been an update on his health and his declining. Now he has confirmed dementia, and it's all really rather sad. But he still did manage to get some films out in the end, and of course I'm still going to get to watching them. I watched one that he was in recently. Was it White Elephant? And that was great. I love that film. That was really, really good fun. He's got a very small role. Very small role. That's a Michael Rooker film. But these ones that I'm about to show are purported to be leading roles. So I haven't checked out the first one. This is part 2 and 3 of the series. We're talking Detective Night number 2, Redemption, and Detective Night number 3, Independence. So yeah, I still haven't watched the first one, but he did it. It's kind of ridiculous. He's got a trilogy of films that came out after all of this news about his health. So I don't know how long they were in production or whatever, but one film maybe that was like half complete, so they just produced it and got it out, and but 3 in a series. I don't know what the story is here, but I'll read a little bit from the back of them. So in Redemption, the second film, Bruce Willis stars as Detective James Knight. In the second film of the action-packed trilogy, in custody in New York, Knight finds himself in the middle of a jailbreak led by the Christmas bomber, hence all the Santas. A brutal fanatic whose Santa Claus disciples are terrorizing the city. With promised return of his badge in exchange for taking out terrorists, the steely-eyed Knight doles out mercy for the just and merciless justice for the rest. Oh god, tongue twister. That's number 2. Number 3, which does complete the trilogy, Detective James Knight. In this final tense chapter of the trilogy, Knight's last-minute assignment to the Independence Day shift turns into a race to stop an unbalanced ambulance EMT from imperiling the city's festivities. Unbalanced ambulance EMT. That's... what a sentence. Misguided vigilante playing cop with a stolen gun and uniform has a bank vault full of reasons to put on his own fireworks show. One that will strike dangerously close to Knight's home. These summaries were written by ChatGPT or something. Anyway, yeah, Detective Knight Redemption and Independence, parts 2 and 3, little slipcases. And look, on paper, this trilogy sounds pretty good and perhaps a fitting, a little bit harkening back to when he was more of a lead role. I am hopeful that's the case. It certainly reads that. The film is named after him. He is the Knight. I don't see it turning into a clip show. We will see. Detective Knight sequels, very good. And the last in this pile. I wasn't going to upgrade this, but I got a good deal from a buddy of mine who ended up with 2 copies. One has slightly damaged slip. He sold this to me for a very, very nice price. And I didn't like the slip anyway, so it's in a box. I don't care. I got it for a great price. Dunwich Horror, which exists on a Shout Factory double feature with Murders in the Rue Morgue, I think it was. But apparently, this has got a nice new scan. I've not checked it out, but I am keen to. And the fact that, look, I paid $10 for it. I paid $10 for it, Australian. That's like $7 US, maybe $6.50. It's coffee money, right? I paid coffee money. I'm very happy to get an upgrade for that price. And this cover art is good. The slip cover, I don't know. It's not even 50-50 with Arrow. It's kind of like 70-30 in favor of just getting rid of the slip and using the reverse cover because, you know, actually it is here. I'll show it to you. I didn't like it. So that's the custom art that they did on the slip. That's what you want? Of course you do. Dunwich Horror. Riding high on the successful adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe, Roger Corman and American International Pictures took on that other titan of literary terror, H.P. Lovecraft, in the Dunwich Horror. Dean Stockwell stars as Wilbur Whately, a mysterious young man who travels from the small town of Dunwich to the library of Miskatonic University, which holds one of the only copies of the Necronomicon, a legendary book of occult lore that Wilbur hopes to borrow. Graduate student, you know what happens when you read from the Necronomicon, right? Graduate student Nancy Wagner from Sarah D falls under this malign influence and travels with him back to his home where Wilbur has plans to use her in a ritual to raise the Old Ones, cosmic beings from another dimension, but who are what is in the locked room at the top of the stairs? What will happen if they get out? There you go, Dunwich Horror. As I said, I got it for a good price and I'm in it for the new scan, 2K restoration from Arrow Films from the OCN, so an improvement over what Shout did 7 years ago? A while ago now, so it's, it was time for another go. Lossless mono audio, as it should be, and a bunch of extras on here, audio commentary, some interviews, and yeah, there you go. I just didn't like the custom artwork, no offense to the designer. He's probably done stuff I did like, but I didn't like that one, and I do like the reverse, so there you go, the Dunwich Horror. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're still here. Okay, I'll put the coffee down. Right, I've got some couple of vinegar syndromes here. Well, sort of, anyway. The first one is actually not a vinegar syndrome, but it's through their site, and it has the slip cover. It is an AGFA. I'm told you're supposed to say AGFA, even though it looks on paper as AGFA, and there was a film media production company called AGFA. It made magnetic tapes and things. Yeah. Apparently we're not meant to call them AGFA. And whatever, I don't care. This was unknown to me, but when it was announced, the frequently mentioned on this channel, Extra the Mutilator, lost his collective mind. And then I saw the trailer for one of the films that was put up, and it looks mental. And that's the one that's not even as rare. The second film on the set is the nobody thought this still existed kind of film. But I'm talking about the now out of print, amazingly out of print. So if you want it, go hunt quickly from reasonable places, not eBay. We're talking about Shaolin Invincibles and 7-1. So these are 2 Taiwanese martial arts films from the 70s. We got one from, Shaolin Invincibles from 77. That is directed by, is it written here? It is written here. I'll get there in a second. Anyway, Shaolin Invincibles from 77. It is written there. Director Cheng Hao, and 7 to 1 is from 1973. Same director, so they're both his films. 7 to 1 is the one that was kind of thought like the prints were gone, destroyed, nobody could find this thing. Shaolin Invincibles does seem to have had some lesser quality DVDs or VHS or whatever, and there's something floating around on YouTube. Not like this. This is a revelation. I'm going to read from the back. Shaolin Invincibles. Wizards, gorillas, blood spurts. You've never seen a Taiwanese martial arts movie like this one. Two sword-wielding sisters seek revenge against the villains who murdered their family. These are no ordinary villains. They're wizards with giant, elasticized tongues who use black magic to control kung fu gorillas. Yes, that is the plot. And then you look at the trailer, that is exactly what you get. So, wow. It's got the Carter Wong, who was in Big Trouble in Little China. Judy Lee from Queen Boxer, and is a supreme basher that combines electricity of a Super Nintendo game with the exceptional fight choreography to deliver an otherworldly experience. It looks nuts. Go watch the trailer, and then I hope you can find a copy, because they printed 1,500 of these things and they were gone in kind of... The slips went in like 2 weeks, and then the regular copies went like a week after. There were copies that made it to Dead End DVD, who's a local distributor here in Australia. He had copies when his had sold out. Those copies are now gone, but that does mean you might still find them. I don't know, go check your Grindhouse videos and things like that. Go looking, because this is some rare stuff. 7 to 1, earlier film from the same director. On a finds Ting, martial arts whirlwind Holly Shang-Quan, on a revenge-fueled rampage following the murder of her father. Assisted by her rock star samurai boyfriend, Ting rages against all manner of street gangs and malcontents. This gonzo Taiwanese battle epic is filled with non-stop fights, bootleg soundtrack cues, I always love that, and incredible stunt work for the effervescent Quan. So this is going to be some good stuff, and it might end up being one of those double feature nights when I can find the time to put 2 movies on. It's hard these days to find time to put 2 movies on the road, but you never know. I might be able to. So yeah, Shaolin Invincibles, preserved from the only known 35mm print in existence, featuring Mandarin language with burnt-in English subs. So it's look, it says at the bottom here, preservations made from the only known film elements in existence approach the technical quality of the source materials with empathy. That is a thing you do need to do. I mean, AGFA are digging deep. And look at the trailer. The trailer is sharp. It looks reasonably colourful. It is a bit washed out. And you kind of get what you're given. And you goddamn need to be thankful for that, because this is not... You know, don't go crying that it's, oh, I can see grain. Oh, there's mould spots on... Shut up. This is not, like, easy to find stuff. Enjoy what you get. And 7 to 1, preserved from the only known 35mm print in existence on an English language dub. So again, I only watch them with subtitles. Watch what you get. Shut up and like it. Shaolin Invincibles, 7 to 1. Very exciting times, golden age, and all that. Next up, this is definitely golden age, and another VHS bites the dust off the rack and into the bin. Literally went into the bin. I actually had sold it to somebody because I didn't need it anymore. And when I was looking at the tape inside, I do sell the tapes as is, because I'm not going to go through and watch a bloody VHS and confirm it still worked. But I flipped the little thing back and I looked inside and went, oh man, that looks stretched. Like the tape had gotten thin in the center. When that kind of happens when you fast forward or you play or whatever, the tape moves and it's kind of frozen. And all it does is just pull the tape out. So it was, and I put it in the machine. Oh, no bueno. It did not work. It simply didn't work. I tried to resurrect it, didn't work. But anyway, doesn't matter. Talking about dog tags from Romano Scavallini. Man, this is great. I love that cover. This is the one that they're using the most, which is fine. It's a bit dark though. That's your cover. Beautiful. Look at that. Fantastic. Just explosive everything. That's like the best VHS art you could ever get. On a Vinegar Syndrome VSA release, so you get the hardcover slippery doodle, and yeah, there's the art again and the thingy bob. I shall read from the back. During the Vietnam War, a special unit of Army Rangers is sent to rescue a small group of fellow soldiers being held prisoners of war. After freeing the men, their next step is to reach a safe zone in order to be airlifted to safety. However, their plans change when a mysterious Captain Newport gives the men a new mission. Find a downed helicopter in order to retrieve the classified information contained within. Facing enemy soldiers and navigating their way through the booby-trap-riddled jungle, the men reach the helicopter only to discover that it's actually filled with missing gold. I wonder if it's Nazi gold. No, I don't think it is, because it's a bit later than that. Now the men must fight for survival and try to avoid turning on each other as they attempt to make their way out of Cambodia in order to escape with their lives and the gold dog tags. Got Clive Wood, Baird Bard, Stafford, Robert Halfrecht, Peter Ehrlich, Mike Monty, Jim Gaines, and Robert Marius. Now there's your trilogy. You kind of need Ron Christoph in there just to even it out. God, he could be in here and just not credited. I don't know. That kind of looks like him, right? So maybe he's in this one. I don't recall. Yeah. What does that tell you? Mike Monty, Jim Gaines, Robert Marius? We're in the Philippines. That's what it tells you. But directed by Italian director Romano Scavolini. And that's what happened quite a lot through the 80s. Italian directors grabbing a bunch of Americans and then a bunch of expats and a bunch of local Philippines and filming an explosive hut film. That's what I'm here for. Very exciting to get this one on Blu-ray. Never before seen uncut original English language version for the first time on Blu-ray, restored in 4K from the IP. It's just, what a time. What a time. You get a little poster. Was it a poster or a booklet? Here's a poster, I think. Yeah, haven't checked it out. Poster. Disc. Amazing. More of this, please, VS. What this tells me is we are, like... this is a problem with these... Come on, get in there. Everyone else have that problem? Anyway, what this tells me is we're this close to Phantom Soldiers. Now, come on. If we can get things like this, we're getting there. We're getting within the realms of Phantom Soldiers on Blu-ray. Vinegar Syndrome. Phantom Soldiers. Teddy Page. Do it now. Excellent. This one's a bit of a... Actually, technically, it's a downgrade. Technically, this is a downgrade. I had the original ridiculous over-the-top box set of this trilogy, and somebody on Facebook was asking if I had it for sale, or if anybody had a copy, and I went, I suppose I could let it go, because the price was right. So, yeah, this is Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 on Arrow. So I had that Scarlet box, which is the exact same thing, but it's fatter, has a booklet, a pin, and a bunch of like crap that I don't want, and like a bonus features disc I'm never going to watch. So yeah, I sold it, and I bought this for less than 1/5 of the price. I'm good with that, man. I don't need to talk about it anymore. It's just it's the second release Hellraiser box, and they got the original covers. Hellraiser, Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser 3. It's a no-brainer to me. I really don't need these ridiculous sets. I never really have. It's just that was the thing that came out first. So that's what I bought. And you don't know. Arrow are a bit like, Synapse, right? They have their, this is what we're releasing. There's no promises of anything else later. And then, here's the simpler version. Okay, fine, great. I'm generally happy with that. Just give me the films, proper cover, nice box maybe, and I'm done. I don't need all the faff. I don't need pins and bookmarks and a lock of the hair from a Cenobite or whatever. Like, it's all good. So yeah, I'm happy with this downgrade Hellraiser trilogy. And I think we're probably like gonna see like some kind of 4K set soon. Like, it'll happen. They're doing it for everything, which I could care less about. But I'm happy enough with this. Lovely Hellraiser trilogy, and the last of these box sets. Beautiful, beautiful. Got it on backwards because I've got the damn lid on backwards. There we go. Violent Streets. Violent Streets. I was umming and ahhing about this one because I had all the 5 films that are within it. This is Umberto Lenzi collection. All the films have got Thomas Millian. And the films are Almost Human, Syndicate Status, Free Hand for a Tough Cop, Cynic Rat the Fist, and The Brothers Till We Die. 4 of those are out on 88 films with slipcovers, and Free Hand came out through Fractured Visions, I think. And I had them all. So I was thinking, do I really want to? And then I started to see screenshots. They've done new 2K scans. They look great. So here I am. And it's a nice box. Come on. It's a nice box. And I prefer the covers. So this is the Severin release, and look, they're just gorgeous, honestly. Brothers Till We Die, Cynic the Rat Fist, Freehand for a Tough Cop, Syndicate Sadists, and the absolutely just slimy as hell Almost Human, which is the one that I've watched first, and it looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Actually, this was a Code Red. This was a Code Red Blu-ray, so this one is a reasonable upgrade, I think. I'm not going to read from the back of all these, but look, you get little lobby cards, you get soundtrack CD on some of them, not all of them. Syndicate, I think, is one of those. Yeah, again. Now, I did read some forum thread that people are complaining that they're like some of the cases have got the wrong disc in them. So I don't know. Maybe go check. Everything's fine for me. Nothing much in that one, just freehand. Yeah, just double check. If you're one of those guys that buys stuff and leaves them shrink wrapped for 2 years, maybe crack the seal on this thing and just check that you've got all your discs in correct order. Seeing the Rat the Fist, I really like that alternate cover there. A bit of a Merly in this film too. Another soundtrack CD. Brothers Till We Die, and that was just a basic disc. So yeah, look, they got me. They got me. This doesn't usually happen. I don't usually buy the same exact things again on this like size and this on mass, but Severin do such good work, and I should be able to get rid of the other copies. I've already got rid of one of them, and I'll let the other 4 go when a buyer wants them, and I'll break even. It's fine, I don't care. Violent Streets, wonderful little box set of Umberto Lenzi 70s Eurocrime, good stuff. And we're onto the Sci-Fi channel DVDs now. I'm going to smash through them quick because apparently the capacity of my SD card is low. So let's just get through these as quick as we possibly can. The first 8 I'm going to do as a bulk here because these were released apparently as a box set locally, and I guess where I bought them from someone on eBay who must have, I don't know, discarded the box. I don't care. I really don't care. These are the After Dark originals. The first ones, I think. The go with these and their relation to Sci-Fi channel is Sci-Fi helped finance these things and also premiered about half of them directly on the channel, and about half of them went theatrical and I think then eventually went to the channel. But they've all got a Sci-Fi channel relation to them. So we have The Task. So these things these are different to some of the After Dark Horror Fest DVDs that were things they bought. These films were made for these releases. Seconds Apart, Death Comes in Twos, Fertile Ground. So these are all slimline things, right? Slimline cases. Prowl. And Husk. Bit of a Scarecrow movie. That one, I think Husk did go onto the channel directly. I know Scream of the Banshee premiered on the channel directly. And this one definitely did too, which is 51 Alien film. So yeah, as I said, half of them, or maybe a little less than half, were Sci-Fi channel premieres on the station. Some went theatrical, but all were financed by After Dark Films and Sci-Fi channel. So that's why they're included. And because I know it's from a box set, I got this bonus disc, right? Don't really know what's on this. Just a bit of a bonus, I suppose. Yeah, it's just these slimline things. Whatever. That's what I got in that boxless box set, so that's fine. It's all good. If you've seen any of these ones, particularly like Scream of the Banshee's got Lance Henriksen in it, and that's always a good sign. So yeah, do chime in if you've seen any of those originals. I'm curious. All right, we'll get into the rest of this pile. First one here is a very aesthetically pleasing multi-pack. It's a US release. It's called the Ultimate Sci-Fi Movie Marathon Androids, Aliens, The Fountain of Youth. How good's that? Looks like one of those Daily Inquirer kind of trash, like tabloidy newspaper things. Really great. This is a 10-year-old disc, or maybe 9 years old. Like, it came out ages ago. And I got it brand new. It's just they're floating around. Reason I got this one and how it applies is particularly it came from Outer Space 2, which was a 90s Sci-Fi channel premiere. So was Deep Red. Might have been one that they didn't create, but I think they might have been the first channel to show it. I think it probably then also went on VHS at the same time. And Control Factor, which I already do have on another DVD. So really it's for Deep Red, and it came from Outer Space too. And I'm sure the rest are enjoyable, but that's the Sci-Fi Channel connections. There you go. And they're pretty good little release here. So you get 2 films on a disc. Sci-Fi, Android Affair, it came from Outer Space 2. Deep Red, Evolution's Child, Night Visitors, and Control Factor. Nice little set. And this is still kicking around Amazon for like a tenner. So yeah, if you just like, look at the back of it. Looks great, doesn't it? If you just like, a bit low budget, made for cable TV kind of sci-fi horror films, you could do worse here. It's our universal release with greattvshows.com with hyphens between it. I guarantee that doesn't exist anymore. And all a full screen except Control Factor, which is widescreen, same as the DVD, the other DVD, the American DVD. So yeah, happy to get this. So it came from Outer Space 2. The only other release I'm aware of is the Umbrella DVD that's local, which is ridiculously hard to find. I've not found a copy. I don't think it's had any other DVD release, so that's how I ended up with this one. Very nice to have this set. Alright, on to some of these other ones. We're going to burn through them quick. Witchville. Look at that, bit lenticular-y kind of thing going in there. This is another one with Luke Goss. Good old Luke Goss. How did you go from boy band to Sci-Fi Channel? I don't know. But I'm here for the ride. This one here is Eric, warrior of Dragonoth, sent by his dying king to retrieve Prince Maliki. Oh, the prince is Luke Goss. Oh, okay, so who's this warrior? I don't know, it doesn't say. We've got Ed Spellers in it. Got a bunch of people. Look, it's one of those fantasy Knights of the Round Table kind of things. And it's got witches. So Witchville, as I said, I'm burning through these quick. The Last Invasion. Got a couple of different names, I think, but this one looks very Asylum-y, but it is not. This one is a UFO. International Pictures, great looking picture there. US Army shot down a UFO in Roswell 47. Generations of elite commandos were secretly trained to combat a return from the alien enemy forces. After 70 years of no attack, the sudden alert of imminent invasion sends shudders around the Earth, the units back to the front line. I reckon this will be fun. Last Invasion. Who do we have in this thing? A bunch of people I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Last Invasion. This one had to get on German Blu-ray. Grendel. And this was a tough one because you go search for Grendel and you get like a more Hollywood film. And the covers are kind of similar actually. So to ensure I get the right film, I had to really do a bit of research, make sure I get the cast, and it turns out German DVD or Blu-ray is the option, and this was so cheap. This is again like $10 shipped from wasn't even that, maybe $8, including shipping from Germany, and it arrived in 3 weeks, so whatever. Can't read from the back anyway, because it's all in German, but this one stars Chris Bruno from Numbers, Marina Sirtis from Next Gen, Star Trek, and Ben Cross from Ben-Hur. There you go, Grendel, Hansel. Similar theme, we get Thor, Hammer of the Gods, another one that you have to make sure you buy the right thing, because there is Asylum one, I think it's called Almighty Thor. Got to make sure. So this ends up being the one you want is a Dutch DVD. So immerse yourself in the ruthless world of the Vikings of Thor. And you have Alexis Peters from Valentine's Day, Zachary Ty Bryan from Fast and the Furious, Mac Brandt from Prison Break. Wow, this is a very early 2000s casting, isn't it? Oh, there you go. And I can't read from the back. Interesting, because this is all in English, except for the synopsis. Only the synopsis is in Dutch, so I can't help you out there. But yeah, there's the back of it. Yeah, Thor, Hammer of the Gods, ticking another one off. This one is also called Red Clover, and is another After Dark original. Actually goes in with that sort of box set, but I guess came after the fact. There was a couple that came after the fact and didn't get local releases. Leprechaun's Revenge, Red Clover. This is a later one. This is kind of like 2014 or so, 2015. And on St. Patrick's Day, 60 years ago, the town of Irish Channel in Louisiana was the site of a bloody massacre. Some blame a deadly storm that swept through the town, but those that were there know the horrifying truth. Since that day, St. Patrick's Day celebrations have been banned. The new mayor wants to bring them back. By doing so, he'll be risking the lives of everyone in town, and the evil force will be unleashed. A new mayor bringing back a celebration. Is this like Jaws with leprechauns? Could be Leprechaun's Revenge, aka Red Clover. See how that one goes. Older release, Harpies. And I think this one is a... what's his name? Stan Lee. Stan Lee's Harpies, yeah. It's a Stan Lee thing. Stephen Baldwin and Kristen Richardson, I assume they're on the covers. Invincible Demons from Darkness. Jason Avery, Stephen Baldwin, night watchman at the New York Museum of Natural History, is ambushed by armed thieves on a mission to seize a mysterious obelisk with supernatural powers. During the confrontation, Jason recovers an amulet from the thieves that opens a time portal. I love a good time portal. Sucked in, and hurled back thousands of years of time. Terrorized by harpies, evil winged female creatures who steal souls and devour flesh. Oh, that'll be a good time. Harpies. No idea. Ticking off another one. This one was seriously ticking off another one. This is quite an early and very strange one for Sci-Fi Channel. I think this was like 2001, maybe 02, something like that, maybe 01, 02. Jackie Chan presents Gen X Cops 2 Metal Mayhem. Yeah, apparently a Sci-Fi Channel premiere in this particular form. So obviously it's a Hong Kong film, or maybe it's mainland China, I'm not entirely sure, probably Hong Kong film, and it's meant to be presumably in Mandarin or Cantonese, but the English dubbed version was released as Metal Mayhem. Well, actually it was released as Jackie Chan Presents Metal Mayhem and premiered on the channel, and apparently they make a big deal about it at the time. So it kind of felt fitting that this UK edition with that title and obviously in English is the one I should pick up. If I want to watch the correct edition, there is a Region 3 Media Asia release that is in widescreen and all that kind of and correct language. But yeah, fast-paced, Hong Kong action film. Gen X Cops 2 tells the story of IMC, an American weapons company, devised a lethal attack robot, RS-1, designed to replace human soldiers on the battlefield and save millions of lives. American FBI agent Ian and a team of young Hong Kong cops, I nearly said something worse then, are assigned to protect RS-1 at an international exhibition of high-tech law enforcement devices. Renegade computer programmer tries to steal RS-1 and use it for his own evil means. Armageddon, total destruction loom. 3 Hong Kong cops and an FBI agent are all that stand between the world and the most lethal weapon ever described, Metal Mayhem. That'll be fun. It does sound like a Sci-Fi Channel movie too when you read it out like that. So no surprising that they bought it and got Jackie Chan to premiere. This one is a 90s film that they premiered, and I think probably hit VHS maybe a little bit earlier. This is where the 90s films are a little bit funny, because only a couple do I think that they created. Most of them were things that they bought that might have been on VHS for a year or so, and then they're the first TV station to premiere it. But it counts in my book. A Town Has Turned to Dust. This was brand new and sealed. Hard one to get. Again, I got a good price on this one. Most of the other copies are not a good price, but this one was new, sealed, and a good price. Ron Perlman and Stephen Lang. Actual real actors in this, and Ron Perlman's really good. This is a kind of a post-apocalyptic thing. I watched this one. It is not an action film. It is bit of a sort of post-apocalyptic sci-fi drama. Like, a lot of it's just about dealing with people and dealing with this horrendous future, and a bit of political battles and who should be leader and that kind of thing. It's not explosive action film, right? So go into it knowing that. And I still think it's quite good. Carbon is a town carved out of the remains of a destroyed civilization. It sits on the edge of a future frontier. Years earlier, after a series of environmental disasters, many of those who could afford to do so escaped Earth and moved to settlements in space. The remaining population was forced to band together in towns like Carbon. And we get Jerry Paul, who's Ron Perlman, who runs the town, and he's a bit of a slime bag. And you get Richard Hannafy, who presumably that was Stephen Lang, and there's mob trials, there's hangings and things. Like it's kind of a space western, right? It's like a post-apocalyptic space western, but it's more there's not so much shooting, right? It was good. I liked it, and man, it's an old DVD. You get DVD embossing on the case. The thing weighs a ton because they actually cared back then. None of those eco cases here. It's released by MTI Video and Bedford Entertainment. It's ancient. Like, this DVD came out in 1999. Old DVD. A town has turned to dust. If you like post-apocalyptic and sci-fi stuff and are okay with it being a bit more of a story than an action film, give it a go. I thought it was pretty good. The next one was proving harder than it should have been to find a copy of, but yeah, I ended up getting one on Amazon US. Had to go direct, and should have been easy to find a cheap one on eBay, but it just wasn't. This one is They Are Among Us, director's cut. I don't know if there's any other cut, but anyway, They Are Among Us. Really cool cover on this one. They destroyed their world, now they want ours. Cool picture on the back there too, actually. An alien colony secretly living in a small town have disguised themselves to look like humans. It's always a bit of a pet peeve of mine, because that's a way of saying we are so cheap, we're just going to say that the humans are the aliens, like V or something. I want to see aliens. I don't want to see people that have got a surreptitious wink. It is soon discovered that the aliens have come to pillage the Earth of its resources in this edge-of-your-seat sci-fi horror epic. Whatever. Who is in this thing? Don't think it's anybody particularly useful. Corbin Burnson, that's a name that I recognise. Apparently it is in 4x3 letterbox. Another thing I've never understood. Why? Like, it didn't cost extra to make a 16x9. Anyway, They Are Among Us. I've always been intrigued by this one because of the cover, but we will get to that one soon. This one I got locally, and I was very happy about that. This one's a bit challenging to get as well. I was looking at copies on Amazon, and they were a bit too much. I didn't want to pay that. Somebody happened to have been selling a copy on an Australian local Facebook group because they accidentally bought two. That's always a good win for me. Habitat, Welcome to a Living Hell. Definitely one of the films that they premiered on the channel, but obviously existed elsewhere. It might have even been theatrical. I don't know. Not too sure about that. It might have been just a made for VHS kind of thing. I really don't know. With Balthazar Getty, Teki Cario, and Alice Krieg. Yeah, cool cover. Habitat. Planet Earth's worst nightmares have come true. Brilliant but obsessed scientist Hank Symes moves to a new town. His radical biology experiments transform a suburban house into a terrifying living creature. His plans for accelerated evolution spiral out of control. Symes and his family mutate as their house begins breathing, oozing, and threatening anyone that enters. I mean, that's a great concept. Habitat. So obviously the house becomes alive. Another ancient DVD. If I'm reading this right, the DVD is from 1997. It really looks like it too. You get, look, I love this. Special features on this DVD. Strap yourself in. Interactive menus. Scene access. Movie factoids. Audio. AC3 Pro Logic and AC3 5.1 surround. The only thing they didn't say is having a picture disc, because it doesn't have one. It's got, oh no, they didn't do a picture disc. But you do get the chapter card, which does, and this is fantastic, make the sound choice. It tells you a little bit here about Dolby Digital and how to make the sound choice, which one to pick, and the easy to follow, fully interactive menu, right? That allows the viewer total control over their home entertainment. For some reason, that's in quotes. And this is the cream of the crop, right? Bonus, not written on the back, but bonus. In addition to playing on your DVD player, this disc will play on a PC with the following requirements: Windows 95, a 133 megahertz Pentium with 16 megabytes of RAM, 5 megabyte hard drive, 5 megabyte. Super VGA graphics, enhanced IDE connector, PCI slot, MPEG 2 trademark, and Sound Blaster 16 or compatible. Wow, what an age we lived in. Don't forget to check out the movie factoids on the disc. Amazing. I mean, I love this shit. This is ancient DVD. This DVD, this is a 25-year-old DVD. Isn't that amazing? And it's the only edition of the film, Habitat. So I'm looking forward to checking out a killer house film. Always good fun. Another Dutch DVD, and this is one that you can easily make a mistake of when you are looking for this film, Deadly Swarm. There is another Deadly Swarm that came about the same time and looks to be a similar plot, but is not the film you're looking for. As far as I can tell, it is this edition only that you want to get if you're a Sci-Fi Channel nut. Who is in this? It's all in Dutch, I can't read the back. Shane Brolly, Karina Orfrake, John Patrick McCormick, and Pepe Cerna. These are the people in this film of Deadly Swarm. It's got a year, 2002, I think is the film. 2005 is this disc. So you're looking for that particular film, and then you will get the Deadly Swarm. If it's the one with the sort of a black and white and red cover that looks a bit more asylum-y, that's not the film you're looking for. This is the one you want. Not one killer, but millions. It's obviously Killer Bees. And the next one up is the name of this film. Anonymous Rex. Anonymous Rex with Daniel Baldwin. It's got to be his second or third visitation in this pile today. Sam Tranwell and Faye Dunaway. I don't know how she ended up in Anonymous Rex, but oh my god. Another fairly early DVD. Imaginative sci-fi with stylized film noir style. I doubt it. Daniel Baldwin and Sam Trammell star as two seemingly ordinary private investigators drawn into a deadly conspiracy of epic proportions. Based on the wildly popular series of novels by Eric Garcia, Anonymous Rex. Do you reckon the novels are called Anonymous Rex? I don't know. Goes on the ground to chronicle a secret society of dinosaur descendants, intelligent lizards adapted through evolution to human size, equipped with holographic disguises to mask their true identities. Anonymous Rex is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Look at this whole thing. Fry's home video. 2006 DVD, 2004 film. So, oh, Christ. And we have Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave, part 5 in the series. This one follows, what's it called? Necro something. Yeah, Dance Till You Drop Dead. Now, I'm pretty told that this is like the least good of the series, but I've also been told that it's okay. And okay is fine. An entertaining zombie flick. I recommend this movie, says Fred Anthro from slasherpool.com. College student finds a canister in his uncle's attic that contains a drug more potent than ecstasy. The word of the drug, nicknamed Zed for its zombie-like hallucinogenic effects, reaches college drug dealer Skeet. That's so 90s. He hatches a plan to sell the drug to ravers. The drug side effects kick in. Rave turns into the ultimate grave. There you go. Oh man, pill popping zombies. Okay, I got to call out though this shit DVD. This is what I'm talking about. This is the opposite of that town that turned to just why bother? Oh, and this whole like, oh, it's eco-friendly, uses less plastic. Yes, but I have to throw it out and buy another case. How's that less plastic? Return of the Living Dead. Rave to the Grave. Necropolis is part 4. And we're down to 2 mini-series I have here. Alice, which, yes, Sci-Fi Channel premiere, of course, starring Katarina Sorzone. Tim Curry. Where is Tim Curry? Could be Tim Curry there with a wig. I don't know. He's probably the rabbit. And Kathy Bates. Now, that's Kathy Bates. God, did I just compare Kathy Bates to Tim Curry? That's hilarious. So anyway, yeah, it's obviously Alice Through the Looking Glass, and they did a mini-series. And it's got, that guy, what was in the Primeval TV series about dinosaurs. And in some other one, Vampire Nation, another Sci-Fi Channel film. He was going to be a big thing for a while. I don't know what happened to him. From the creators of Tin Man, I think it was a very similar time. So Tin Man I showed in the previous update, and this is probably the same year or the year after or something like that. After her fiancé is kidnapped, judo instructor Alice Hamilton, she's a judo instructor, chases his Alice is a his? What? Abductors and tumbles into the fantastical wonderland where she chases his abductors where she discovers them with the Queen of Hearts, Kathy Bates from Misery, obviously. Hot on the trail, Alice isn't certain which of the many characters of Wonderland she can trust and maintain a level head. I don't know, whatever. Mini-series, Alice. I quite liked Tin Man, so I wanted to get this one as well. 170 minutes, so it's basically just 2 movies. Yeah, Alice, if you've seen it, yeah, let me know how it is. DVD was a challenge to get at a reasonable price. It's one of those ones I had to sit and wait for a bit. Because there's these people trying to charge $60 for these things, and if you just wait a month or so, a good one shows up. This one did. As did this one. I may have even shown the American DVD of this in a previous update, but I kind of wanted the Australian one just because all the other miniseries I got are Australian. And again, the sellers are selling them for $60, and I wasn't going to pay that, so I waited till I could pay 20 something. The Triangle, another miniseries they did from the filmmakers of Independence Day and X-Men, apparently. Bryan Singer's in this though. There you go. And is blah 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 blah. Experience the thrills, blah, don't care, blah. Specialists race to solve the mystery of why an alarming number of cargo ships are disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle. But as every clue only deepens the mystery, the truth they discover is far more bizarre than the myths it used to cover up. Bermuda Triangle film. Triangle. This one is 244 minutes, so that sounds like 3 parts, 4 parts? Possibly 4 parts, I don't know. It's on 2 discs though. So there you go. The Triangle, another Sci-Fi Channel mini-series. This is from 2005. So there you go. Quite a pile. A lot of that was Sci-Fi Channel. And I did have to get through it quick because, oh my god, the SD card's running out of space and the battery's blinking lights at me. So there you go. That is this month's DVD and Blu-ray update for the month of April. No falling here. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out this thing. Check out this thing. I'll see you next time.